Hey guys, it's Spencer again. I was gonna go to class today, but I'm looking outside and it's fucking raining, so I'm gonna kind of skip it. It's college, so it's not that bad. Um, from my last video, I was talking about my kind of relationship struggle with this girl I liked. Um, After that video, I really was questioning shit about myself and things. You know, thinking like, oh, am I an incel? Not really. I mean, I interacted with a girl. That's something they can't do. Um, no offense to him, of course. No offense to him. I mean, we all have our own type of struggles, you know, and we're all built different. I know it sounds like cope, but anyways, but while I was thinking about that, you know, and just for the other few days, something just came up in my head because eventually one of my advisors started like questioning me about what career I wanted to do, and like they made it all complicated. Like, I just want to do my gen eds and then I'm gonna figure it out, you know, during the summer. That's all it has to be, and they're so weird about it. It's like they want you to be something when you still don't know what you want to be, while they're still saying, oh, people still don't know. By the way, you need to choose like immediately or some shit. They don't say that part out loud, but that is exactly what they're trying to say, but they're hiding it through language. But while they just told me that shit and I came back home, you know, and I talked to my dad about it, I really kind of thought in my mind, like, while we were just discussing shit, it was just so obvious that, like, there's not really anything I actually really want to do, really. I mean, and this can go for anyone. I feel like we all want to be a kid again, and that's the point of the title of the video. In my head, I was like, I want to be a kid, you know? I want to be someone where I could just have freedom and shit, and, like, do whatever I want. That's what we all want, you know? But it's not realistic. But in our head, it's like we want to be a kid. We don't want to do shit, you know. And I know some people will be like, "Oh, I like work. If no one worked, that'd be so boring, man. Oh, if I didn't work, I'd be so fucking boring and shit." Okay, sorry for the interruption, but I'm keeping that in. That was a cute moment. I love my pet Bob. But like I was saying, they're like, oh, if there was no work would be so boring. Oh, I love work. And it's like, that's just you. You should go do all the work then. You know, you're a workaholic. That makes you different from most people. You're like 0.1% of the fucking world. You're like slave tiers and shit. I don't even know. Like, you're like the 1% of slaves, you know? Versus 1% of rich people. But if you like working, go ahead. You know, I shouldn't be judgmental about it. But anyways, most of us though, we don't want to do all that shit. We don't want to work and stuff. At least for me. You know. And now that's in the title of this video always kept on going to my head. Like, I wish to be a kid again. You know. And I started thinking more about my past and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, like, you know. And I don't know why, like, in society we, like, demonize people wanting to be kids or people wanting to be free and, like, enjoy and be whimsical, like, enjoy life and shit, you know. They're always like, oh, you have to get out of your fancy, you gotta grow up and shit. It's like, oh, growing up, getting like a dead-end job, working for a bunch of like fucking evil corporations and like big tech and like wherever fucking like awful agency or like healthcare, and like just being miserable, work and just do all this like fucking gay and stupid fucking work. Yeah, growing up, getting a dead-end job in whatever sector, like big tech and healthcare, or fucking, I don't know, like business, doing that for the rest of your life, and then being miserable, and then not being able to actually do anything fun in your life, usually. Or if you take the family route, you either get a fucking bitch wife or bitch husband, or fucking, I don't know, you get some kids and then they fucking hate you and shit. And a bunch of stuff like that, because it just happens. And then have those kids who grow up then do the same fucking cycle all over again. Does that sound good? I don't think that's if that's what growing up is, that just sounds like bullshit to me. Personally, how I feel like I'm gonna grow up, honestly, I'm gonna probably take whatever's like the fucking most competitive shit and just work at a fucking cubicle doing like taxes or some shit, probably like accountant. That would realistically be something I might be able to do. I don't like accounting. I don't think anyone fucking likes it. Not even the accountants themselves. Well, probably if they keep on working, but I would not like doing that for the rest of my life. But I would only do it if I could stay afloat and enjoy shit. You know? I'm really hoping that somehow, with whatever inheritance money my fucking family's getting, because they've been like trying to generate wealth for years on end, and like I know it's not bullshit considering how the other family has turned out. Fucking, and God, this is fucking embarrassing. Fucking my aunt adopted a girl, and now she's my stepsister, and she's older than me. She's like in her 20s, and she already has like over $1 million, like hundreds of thousands to like $1 million. She owns a fucking condo in like, I think Vermont or Maine, or like somewhere out there. And keep in mind, she went to the biggest college. She went to like a private college, like an expensive one, left, fucking dropped out, and took some other job. I don't even know what it was. But she is way richer than my dad, who's like 56 and she's like in her 20s. And she got all that money from her aunt and the family, and my dad's all fucked over, you know? And he's like 50, in his 50s and shit. And she's not even related to the family, you know? I don't know, like I haven't spoken to her a while, so like I don't really feel that much of a connection, you know? But that's so wild. And to think that like eventually, if that money's like continuing to grow and they die, or like they just want to give the money to me, I could probably just live forever as like a fucking like NEET or some shit, or like no job and shit. I could do that. And maybe I could try to actually make creative things I wanted to make in my head, you know, and actually get people to fucking care about me. It's just crazy. And I'm really hoping that's like the outcome. I feel like that'd be honestly the best outcome for me, other than being a fucking like accountant or fucking like medical field, which I have no passion for. I legit chose nursing in college because money. That's literally the reason. And plus, there's like a 3-day work week, and I know it's 12 hours, but 3 days, 3 days. But anyways, when I thought about that money number, my dad said, it really got me thinking though. Maybe I could be a kid again if I get the money. If I somehow get the inheritance, depending on how huge it is. Because I remember some of the estimates from his side, at least, just dad's side alone, $5 million. That much money. And just thinking about that, if that's just from him, how much do the others have? Because he makes the least amount in the family. How much would the rest be? And I know the only problem is that it gets split up with my stepsis, and that means so the money might be divided. But even then, it's still gonna be a lot of money, I assume. Sorry, Bob's just moaning. He I don't know if you guys know this, but Bob right here has cat dementia. Say hi, Bob. I had to do this. I fucking love this guy right here. Anyway, sorry for the Bob moment again. I know, I just love this little guy right here. But yeah, like, but honestly, like, that'd be like one of the best ways for me to like be a kid forever. And I'm hoping it happens. I would really wish for that to happen. But with how expensive shit is getting, who knows? Who knows? But dude, like, but even just back to being a kid, because I know I keep on doing family shit, but it all makes sense, you know, it all connects back to being a kid. And that's why I explained it. But no, like, but yeah, thinking about my childhood, it's obviously really great, but anytime I tried to bring back at least the things that were great, the friends I had, all the fun shit we did, all that stuff, right? And keep in mind, this was like after COVID, so I was maybe like around 14, maybe, when coming back. And I was chopped to shit back then. Like, I was ugly as fuck. I looked irrecognizable. But I remember trying to repair stuff, try to get back to things together, and all my old friends, my IRLs at least, they just seemed to not want to fucking do anything with me. You know, and for a while it just seemed kind of more like, you know, they have new friends, but they still respect me and they still want to hang out with me and shit. And, you know, they're busy, they're getting older and stuff, but it's like, now that I kind of look back on it, because now that I'm 18, and that was like fucking 4 years ago, what I realized from that moment where it was like the end of my childhood, I just kind of realized that, like, I just think it was utter bullshit. I think they were genuinely just bullshitting me. I think I realized that was the point to where it's over, I have to find new people, but I never did that. I still believed in them. That I still believed that I was truly still friends with them and shit. And they might even be thinking about that for me, but from how they communicated to me and all that, they just completely threw me away in the fucking dumpster. That's literally what they fucking did. And only one of them still stuck around, because he's my first one and that'd be extremely hard to get rid of. Abe. But I had to say his name. But, yeah. God, this is fucking embarrassing. I just keep on trying to think, because all these aren't scripted videos. I just come out of my mouth. Come out of my brain. I don't know, thinking about it just kind of fucks you up right now, sorry. Alright, I'm back. Get my water. I just remembered things. I'm trying to clear it up in my head. But like I said earlier, when I tried to restore what was once golden and what was unbroken, but it is now broken and fucking bronze now, I tried to bring it back. And in doing so, I realized that, and this should be fucking obvious for anyone, that they're moving forward and I'm going backwards. You know, I'm trying to go back to the past. Meanwhile, I'm not improving myself. I'm not trying to get new people. I'm like, shit. And meanwhile, they're getting better. They're like, oh, who the fuck cares? I'm getting better. I'm going to do all this shit and get so cool and better and so smart and go to college or whatnot. And meanwhile, what am I doing? I'm trying to bring back what was golden while being a fucking, like, having kind of a neat lifestyle where I'm just fucking doing nothing all day. Meanwhile, I am going to school, so I didn't count. But, yeah. So, you know, there's that. And the point to where I finally realized how what I was doing was total bullshit was near the end of junior year. And near the end of junior year, a lot of things happened. You know, that's when I got my shit straight and, you know, worked out a bit more, tried to make myself actually look good, and not get shitty haircuts from this guy. Unfortunately, I did do that, but look how my hair came out. It's so much fucking better. But that was okay. That haircut was at the end of senior year. Never mind. But, anyways, yeah, that's what I did. And, God, during that time, I just did not speak to anybody. At some point, I did want to take out my creative vision because I wanted to be independent and do shit. And I got some people from high school, some others. And that didn't work. It never fucking worked. The fucking people I was working with, they were like, imagine like you're telling people to cook, and then the fucking you're like, hey sous chef, you have to cook the fucking scallops and the fucking stuff that goes on the meat, right? And they're like, no, I will not do that. We can't do something that extreme. And they just say that to you straight up. It's like, what the fuck else did you join for? Like, I told you exactly what you're getting into, And I made sure of that. I literally told them that stuff, but then they decided to not listen and just misinterpret what I said. And then I had another guy where he's like, he thinks he knows shit. But he thinks he knows more than the person who's literally directing the whole thing. I'm trying to remember his name. I think his name was like Forrest or some shit. I don't even know. But like, this dude, I don't know, like before back in junior, he was actually pretty normal. I don't know, he was like happy and golly. But after that, then he just like he went from to, hey guys, I'm Forrest. Yeah, he just went to that. But not even just like, he's like all kind of like, maybe emotionless. He's just like an asshole while doing it. Like, seen him do it to like math teacher, seen him to do it to me, and just to others. Like, he just like kind of acts strange. The improvement though is that he got really interesting. He had really good outfits. That's my little rant on him. Honestly, overall, because that was so many years. That was like 2024. I don't really hate him for that. I just wanted to bring that up because that's what he did before. He's probably a great guy now. Who knows? But yeah, those two people, awful. The other guy, I forgot his name, but he was ginger. But the other two guys I had, one I worked for this fucking short film that was kind of stupid. But a guy trying to find his dollar, he had a bunch of family visits, and that was one of the first times I got stuff like that from quote unquote friends. I only found out later that the family excuse is to opt out of being friends with people or hanging out with people or even doing anything and being a useless bum or whatever. I had to cut some shit out. But yeah, so that guy couldn't work because of family. Everyone has fucking family, dude. Not everyone likes their family that much to hang out with them, especially during summer. Then the one guy, and he was my real one, Ian. He was my real one, and he stuck with me. We explained things. He actually had to explain a lot of things for me because I was so shy and shit because of the other guys. But then eventually, I just canceled my project. I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to do it, and I just gave up on trying to be creative. I tried to cope by trying to become a quote-unquote programmer, which, to be honest, I could probably go for that. That's like a remote job and shit. I could just be all cozy in my home. But I tried doing that a bit. I tried making a story that was kind of off a bit. It was kind of off and then Human Nikki. I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was some weird combination of that. I didn't want to go full on fucking Undertale Deltarune because everyone fucking does that. No one actually has played any other fucking RPGs. And those weren't the only other two I took inspiration from. There's other old ones, but I don't want to get into the fucking tangent about it. But eventually I tried taking next year at my high school. I looked a bit different. And I decided to take a piano class, computer class, math. You get it, right? And it was actually not that bad. I was a bit lonely though, because it just seemed like everybody just did not want to talk to me. I didn't really have that much friends. I didn't really have much people to really speak to. And in one of my most boring classes, which was like IT, which was just glorified accounting and Excel, that one was super boring. No one spoke to me, and I couldn't really speak to anybody. Everyone was just in their little circle jerk. And this was like one group where all the people I know I could talk to, they're all in their own circle jerk, and it's like impossible to talk to them, because it's like you try to sit down, you try to like talk to them and shit, not try being weird, right? You want to make it natural. There's one of them is kind of like, oh, hi, like that shit, like hi, like they're doing. It's like it makes you feel like you're a fucking intruder. It makes you feel like you're just like, I don't know. It makes you feel like you're a creep, but you're not a creep. And that's not what I was trying to do. Like I'm usually quiet. Like at that point, I was just basically quiet. And that was just hard. I just didn't speak to anybody there. And then next year, I tried to turn things around, but that one was actually the worst one. Barely any classes with people I spoke to. Always lonely. No one really. The only great moments was like those friend hangouts with my friend Abe, which was basically his friend group, not mine really. But I just felt so fucking. It's like I tried to get in, and I was in, but they barely considered me. But then again, I never really reached out to them, but I thought they would always like remember me and shit. And some of them even tried to say like, "Oh, Spencer, you should have came out. You should have came out and talked to us so you could like come with us and shit." But it's like, how would I know that? How would I know what you guys are doing? You guys never really indicate it. I look through all the chats and shit. I don't see anything, any mention, I don't see any calls or anything. So how's I supposed to know? I did learn on later during summer, because I didn't hang out with barely anyone during summer. I only hung out with my friend Ian most of the time. And turns out they were all working. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but when you're just in that state where you just can't trust a lot of people, you don't believe that. And honestly, even if they were still working and I knew about that full time, if they were free, I know they would not consider me, or at least try to bring me around. And I know from how I'm talking, oh yeah, it's understandable why no one will talk to you and shit. Thing is, I've never spoken like this before to anybody, not even publicly. Like maybe I've spoken like this with like maybe like my mom or dad, but done there, but nothing too serious like this. Closest is probably my friend Shane, and like really close people, like really fucking close. And none of them fucking live here. Shane moved, and the others are fucking wherever. They're like somewhere else. But yeah. But most of the time, I was kind of quiet among them and shit. And I tried to add on to stuff, but I just seemed to embarrass myself. Or just do things they didn't like. Just things that just like made them go, "Urgh." Well, not like, "Urgh." They just make them kind of go like. And I wish I knew that. I just tried to be funny. I tried to like do the funny guy bit, because that's like all I kind of knew. I just knew that I was like class clown funny guy in high school and shit, which I was. That's how I was built up to be and shit, and I just didn't know how to be like real, because I never felt real in so long. I know most of this video has been just a tangent, but it really does show like a sharp contrast between childhood and now. Childhood is so much better. You just are more real. You can just be whatever. You can be cringe. You can be free. You can just have friends. You can just get do everything you want. And you don't have to worry much. But once you like reach that older teenager to like adult years, like college to like senior year, it just gets worse. It really just does get worse. And like most of the people that you knew and you could trust for most of your life are not as genuine as you thought they were. They aren't always going to be your friends, and it's going to be hard to try to make new friends. And they always say that, like, your real friends are going to be the ones you meet in college, and that fucking scares me. That really does scare me. I haven't spoken to anybody in college, unless I had to, unless I was, like, supposed to talk to them. But other than that, I haven't spoken to anybody there. I haven't made, like, a true friend at my college. And it's crazy that people just say that, like, your true friends are in college. Like, you can't speak to anybody there in college. It's, like, impossible to speak to any of them. I don't want to join a club. I don't care about joining clubs. I don't do any of the activities, because by the time I'm done with, like, 3 of my classes, 4 of them, I'm out of here. I don't want to be in this fucking, like, college, dude. I want to be home. You know? I don't want to be here. This shit's, like, boring as shit. It's like, oh my god, like, why the fuck are any of these classes, like, mandatory to go to? It's like, you can learn all the shit online. You know? And I know I should probably, like, get out of college if I don't know and I don't like the structure and shit. But what else do I fucking have? Go fucking trade? We all know that's gonna inflate. We all know trade jobs are just fucking, like, slave labor, just, like, with extra steps. Okay, that's a crazy fucking way of saying trade jobs, but I respect trade jobs. I don't know. It's just like, it's not for me. It's not for me. Or, like, taking certifications and shit, which I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of the certifications are kind of, like, scamish. I don't feel like all corporations take it. So college is really the only option. You know? And most jobs literally want you to have a college degree. The good ones, of course, not the fucking shit minimum wage ones you can get at a fucking Walmart or Popeyes. See what I mean? Another tangent. See, this is what happens, dude. Fucking... When I make these videos and I get angry, I go from topic to topic. I'm just erratic. This would never happen in my childhood. I would never be doing this in my childhood. I know, not a crazy revelation, right? No, I mean revelation. That's what I meant. I just wish I was a kid again. That's just really what I want to say. Just so simple, just so much better, but I just want to be a kid. I want to be a kid. You want to be a kid. I know you want to be a fucking kid again. Don't lie to yourself. But anyways, I don't have very much to say. I'm just kind of angry. See ya.